Hey church family, David Russo here, and we're going to continue on in our daily scripture reading, looking at Matthew 24 today. If you have a Bible, you can open up to verses 4 through 14. And in this passage, we're going to see Jesus' response to the disciples' question about the end of the age. They're asking him, what is our future going to look like? They want to know what the destination is going to be. And this is Jesus' response here in verse 4. He says, "Take heed that no one deceives you. For many will come in my name, saying, 'I am the Christ,' and will deceive many. And you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there will be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then they will deliver you up to tribulation and kill you, and you will be hated by all nations for my name's sake. And then many will be offended, will betray one another, and will hate one another. Then many false prophets will rise up and deceive many. And because lawlessness will abound, the love of many will grow cold." Now there's two more verses we want to look at, but let's just stop for a minute and take inventory. Jesus cannot be accused of sugarcoating. He is very direct, very point blank, telling the disciples, your future is going to be tough. It's going to be a hard journey. A couple of years ago, me and my dad were on a camping trip. I took him to Lake Arrowhead for Father's Day. I planned this whole elaborate weekend. It was just going to be perfect. We were going to unplug, turn off our cell phones, and just enjoy some quiet company with each other. And we decided to go on a hike. Now, on the return trip from the hike, we decided to go a different route. Now, FYI, never take another route home. When you're on a hike you don't know. And a couple hours into the return trip from the hike, we're realizing that we have not seen another person on the trail for about 2 hours. Our cell phone service was spotty. We were barely getting good GPS reading, and it was getting close to dusk, and we were beginning to have the thoughts of it might almost be time to call some emergency help. It was getting pretty bad. So before we did that, we stopped and we said a quick prayer. We said, God, just give us a sign. Just give us a sign. Help us out here. And no joke, about 2 minutes later, this kid rolls up on a bike, and we stop him and we say, do you know what the end of this trail looks like? We were asking him, can you tell us what our future basically looks like? Do you know the destination that this trail leads to? Now, luckily, he did know the destination. He told us that there was a city not too far from where we were. But imagine if all he told us was, yeah, this trail goes on for a couple miles, and then rode off. He would have been telling us about the journey, but not giving us a picture of the destination. Now, the reason that's so important is because the destination informs the way that we live our journey. It informs the path and the manner of living that we take. And so let's finish what Jesus describes as the destination for the disciples. He says here, "But he who endures to the end shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as a witness to all the nations, and then the end will come." Jesus is living into the wisdom in Proverbs. In Proverbs 29, it says this, Proverbs 29:18, "Where there is no revelation, the people cast off restraint, but happy is the one who keeps the law." Another interpretation for that word revelation could be prophetic vision. So Jesus is the embodiment of wisdom here. He's telling the disciples that there is a future hope. There is a destination that you are working towards on this journey. And even though the journey is going to be tough, it's going to be excruciating at points, it's going to be rough, the hope of that destination informs the way that they're living that journey. The way that they live out that experience is completely changed by the destination. You could also think of an Olympic athlete. If his coach never informed him that you're going to the Olympics, how meaningless would the daily drills, the diet, the discipline, the sleep schedule, the lack of friends, how meaningless would that all become if he had no picture of the future destination of what he was working towards? And for us today, I just want to encourage you, me, the church body, that we need to look further ahead to the destination where we're going and allow that vision to inform the way that we're living our journey today.